Hello, hello, hi. So it's Tuesday and it's at noon, 12:20. So welcome to my live class today, guys. I wanted as many of you to be able to join me today here because I'm going to speak a bit about the verb tenses and all the students that I talk to, all the people that I talk to, only just curious about how it works. And I just asked them to tell me in English everything. I see that there are a lot of problems with the verbs. So that's why this is another live class from Coffee Learning from Elena. We're going to try to understand the logic behind the verb tenses in English. So I'm going to try today to explain to you how the whole system works so that we'll look at the big picture. Because if I take every verb tense, by itself, then it's easier for people to understand. For example, let's speak about past simple. Yes, past simple. Yesterday I did, yesterday I went, yesterday I bought. If I speak about past continuous, yes, yesterday I was walking on the street. At 7 a.m. I was walking on the street and I was admiring the birds. So when we take it apart, then the verb tenses are okay with majority of people. But as soon as they want to see the richness of the verb tenses when people talk, then I see that there is a lack there of maybe understanding. So that's why this live today is going to be about how to understand the logic behind the 9 verb tenses. Because there are 9 most important verb forms in English. And you might have seen the little picture, the little image there that I put on my Coffee Learning page. If it's possible, go take it. It's the verb walk. In the present, I walk. Past, I walked. Future, I will walk. In the simple tense, in the simple aspect, and so on. Lily, welcome. Hi, Lily. Nice to see you. So, Lily, this live is a bit more complicated. You are intermediate level, you're fine. I think you're gonna learn some stuff from here. If something is really hard or tough, take note of the question and then come and talk to me, Lily, because you're already my student. So we'll talk about that more in class. Hi again. So, in English we have 9 verb tenses in the times, in the 3 time frames. We have the present time frame, we have the past and the future. Like in all our languages. What becomes a bit more interesting is the aspect. In English we have the idea of aspect, and the aspect is the way I look at the time. For example, if I have my simple aspect, I have simple in the present, simple in the past, simple in the future. So when you see from the little table I give you there, I walk, present simple, I walked, past simple, I will walk, future simple. Hi Lilian, welcome to my class. Welcome Lilian. Where's your wife? Natalie, she is a very disciplined student who tries to improve her English with me. So, of course the simple aspect is simple, right? It's closer to our languages, Russian and French. Even French is the same, like Romanian and Russian. We don't have the idea of aspect, so the simple aspect is exactly like we have in our languages. The continuous aspect is a little bit more interesting, but also we can find an equivalent with our languages. So in the continuous aspect, we have present continuous, I am doing something right now. Past continuous, I was doing something at a specific moment in time in the past. So yesterday at 7 p.m., I was walking in the street. Yesterday, when my father came, I was reading a book. I was doing something when something else happened. So, past continuous, it's a specific action that I was doing in the past, and future continuous is a specific action in the future that I will be doing at a moment in time. So see, yesterday at 7 p.m. I was walking down the street. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., I think, if everything goes according to plan, tomorrow at 7 p.m. I will be walking down the street because I know that my daily routine is walking in the street at 7. So tomorrow, like today, I will be walking in the street. So I want you to only understand the logic, because then with lots of exercises we can try to use them. Because first, if you understand how it works, then it's easier to apply it when you talk. See, I'm trying to be taller here because of my iPad, so I'll just come down and be shorter. I cannot be taller, you know, I'm the way I am. Okay, so that was the continuous aspect, and now we have the third one. The third one is the perfect aspect, and this one is the tricky one because we don't have any equivalent in French, English, in French, Russian, or Romanian. So that's why perfect aspect needs a little bit more practice, but the logic is really cool and it's there. Don't try to close yourself and say, oh, I don't understand this, I'm not going to touch it. No, it's very digestible. It's very easy to understand. So the perfect aspect wants to show that there is a connection between present and past. That's it. That's the big rule. That's why in the present perfect, I'm going to say, I have lived in Quebec for 10 years. I'm connecting the past with the present. I have done this action for 10 years now. Okay? That's present perfect. I have done. Past perfect is an action that happened before another one happened in the past. So, yesterday when I came home, my husband had already made supper. My husband had already washed the kids when I came home. I think in French we have plus que parfait. Le plus que parfait du français, c'est l'équivalent de past perfect in English. Another example. When I saw my mother, I saw how much she had aged. See, when I saw her, I saw how much she had aged. So she had become older when I saw her. Right? Past perfect is before something. Present perfect is before now. You see? And future perfect is before a moment in time. It basically makes sense. Listen, in the future, in 2020, I will have been living in Quebec for 14 years, I think, or 15, I don't know. Yeah, for 14. So, by 2020, I will have lived in Quebec for 14 years. By tomorrow morning, I will have finished the report. So, perfect is the aspect when you want to show that something happened before now, before then in the past, or before then in the future. That's why we always use in the future perfect by. By Friday evening, I will have finished the report. By 2018, I will have bought a house. Present perfect. I have bought my house. I've done it before now. Past perfect. When I moved in, my husband had already bought the house. The see, perfect is always before something. Past perfect had done. Present perfect have done for the present, and future will have done. Basically, that's it. These are the 9 tenses, and then what we do is we learn them together. Present simple or present continuous. For example, I usually drive a car to work right now, but right now I'm not driving a car. Right now I'm talking to you. So that's the difference between present simple and present continuous. Present simple, present perfect. I live in Quebec, but I've lived here for 10 years. I like reading books, but I've read 2 books this summer. So, see, I like reading books. It's flat. We call it like a flat level. Yeah, it's flat. It's first floor level. There's nothing there. I just tell you that I like reading books. Always, all my life. But until now, so hope I connect past with present. Until now, I've read many books. Now, if I go into the past, usually we use past simple or past continuous. Just like present simple, present continuous. Past simple, past continuous. Yesterday, you want to tell me a story? Yesterday, I took the plane, and while being on the plane, I was talking to my neighbor about how great it was that I was going to visit my mother. So see, I took the plane, past simple, and then I started giving you details. I was on the plane, so I was talking to my neighbor about the things I was going to do with my mother. See? Now future. Future is much more interesting because we have to train ourselves to plan, and that's something that actually is specific for the English language. They have a lot of future forms. They don't even call it future verbs. And it's really cool. Like in English, in French, we have two forms, right? Je vais parler avec ma mère, je parlerai avec ma mère. C'est tout. Et ça fait, c'est quand même simple, là. C'est presque la même chose qu'en romain. Je vais parler, je parlerai. There is little difference between them. In English, we have future forms. So you can say in English, tomorrow I'm seeing my friend. Tomorrow I'm having lunch with my friend. You can say in English, I'm going to have lunch with my friend. I'm going to water my plants tonight. After that, we can say future simple. We can use future simple. I think next year I will buy a house. You see, you can say that. You make plans, and it depends on how you look at the action. That's the future form you will use. The future form that reflects what you really want to say by thinking about the future. It's really cool. So I'm seeing my friend for lunch. It means that it's part of your agenda. It's part of your plan for tomorrow. I'm seeing my friend. See, it's in my agenda. It's my appointment. I'm seeing her tomorrow. I'm going to water my plants tonight, I'm saying. It means that this is part of my plans for tonight. Tonight I'm going to cook and I'm going to water my plants. Right? Number 3. If it rains tomorrow, I will take an umbrella. Tomorrow I will take an umbrella with me. I know that it's going to rain tomorrow. You see, it's all part of me planning my days. These are the 3 simple ones. But then we go into the future continuous and future perfect. So in the future continuous, you say, an example with this would be, you know, this year in August, I'm here in Canada. But next year, I will be spending the month of August in Moldova. So I'm making a plan. Oh my God, so cool. Yay, I'm going to go to Moldova. We'll see. But I'm planning. I'm saying next year, I will be spending the month of August. See, I will be doing something. It's as if everything goes according to plan, I will be spending the month of August in Moldova. See, I already have 4 future forms. And the 5th, of course, is future perfect. I will have finished my report. Usually use it in very formal setting. Very formal setting at work. I will have finished my report. I will have finished painting by Friday. For example, I'm painting, my husband says, so when are you going to be done? And I say, I will have finished by Friday. Please be patient. You know? In other words, you're telling people that something will be done. Something will be done by that time. It's a completed action that I care about. Because perfect means completed. In philosophy and in language too, if you think about it. Something is perfect, it means it's done, it's completed. Basically, that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you about. It's basically a logic that can be acquired very, very easily. You can listen to the video again if you want to. If you really care about understanding, let me know, and I will send you some links and some exercises. I think I will send my activities to my students for now. But any one of you, you're welcome to contact me directly, and I will give you exercises that deal with all the verb tenses together. Because now, say 20 years ago, grammar was taught separately. Now we like this holistic approach, and so we try to give all the verb tenses together to people, because it's interesting for you to connect the dots and put up the puzzle together without me. I mean, it's not very hard to do. Okay, so Lily, Ludmila, Verika, I hope that you caught some bits and pieces from here, because I'm about to be done with this live class. I wanted to explain a bit how the verb tenses work. If you understand the logic behind it, then the next step to do is to do some exercises in written form, and then step number 3 is to try explaining them. Sorry, not explaining, try using them. And then stage 4 is to try explaining them. Basically, explaining something that you understood is the best way that will assure you that you'll remember it forever. That's for sure. See, I explain verb tenses all the time, but that's why I know them very well. So if you want to practice the verb tenses, if you have some questions, anything, let me know. I'll be there. I'm at your disposal as always. Elena from Comfy Learning. I hope you enjoyed the live. Don't be shy if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week with another little class on something curious and cool from the English language that we all love and need to practice, especially here in Quebec. Bye, all the best.